You're listening to Comic Reflections, episode 64. I'm Nicholas Prom.
I'm Jeff Barnhart.
Comic Reflections is a proud member of the Rhymes with Geek podcast network. You can listen to our show and other cool shows like Anti-Fanboy, Feed It Comics, and Real Books Don't Have Batman at rhymeswithgeek.com.
Oh, cool. Oh, we got a full slate today.
Oh, yes, we do. Let's start with Justice League of America number 113. The lead story is The Creature in the Velvet Cage, written by Len Wein, with art by Dick Dillon and Dick Giordano.
We begin with this splash page with the JLA looking like they're on strike or something.
Yeah.
I think they're just saying, hey, this is what's up and what's coming up. And Wonder Woman's wearing high heels. Does she fight? I don't remember her fighting crime in high heels.
I don't know.
Yeah. And Ant-Man, because
The Atom.
the Atom, sorry, the same difference.
They're different characters.
I know.
Okay.
I'll never remember that. But he's teeny tiny, so he's carrying a balloon that says JLA mailroom.
Right, these signs that they're all wearing. I swear there was an issue of Justice League where they're like, hey, unfair to superheroes or something, and that was the cover. But this splash panel looks kind of like that, only the signs they're carrying are all the stories and things and features in this 100-page super spectacular.
Yeah.
But anyway, our lead story, The Creature in the Velvet Cage, is a Justice League Justice Society team-up with, who have we got? Superman, Green Lantern, Wonder Woman, Batman, the Sandman, the Flash of Earth 2, the Elongated Man, and Our Man.
Yeah, oh man. These things are so complex.
Oh, man.
Alright, so they're fighting these owl guys. And they beat the crap out of them. And then there's an alarm, and Sandman has to go back. So Sandman apparently had a buddy called Sandy.
Yeah, that was his sidekick.
And we find out that Sandy was hit by this ray gun that
Ronald Reagan?
Yeah.
Yeah, just kidding.
Yeah. That's from the Woodstock.
Huh.
That's what the joke was. They made a joke with Ronald Ray guns.
Oh, okay.
So, apparently, when hit by the ray gun, he turns into this monster. So Sandman puts him on ice and doesn't tell anybody about it.
Yeah.
Why not? You have these superhero, super intelligent people, and they go around solving problems, and you don't tell them about this problem?
It's a little odd. I mean, Sandman was a founding member of the Justice Society, and then his invention that was like this silica gun, it backfired and turned Sandy into this monster. And I think the shame of it all, he went back to his original costume before he had teamed up with Sandy and weird things like that. I don't know. I mean, men are, people are proud, and sometimes they hide things that they don't need to. They refuse to ask for help. It's one of those things.
Yeah, but
it's years later, and now Sandy, the monster, has escaped.
Yeah. How weird is an elongated man likes to elongate at times where he doesn't really need to elongate?
Oh, like he just stretches his neck out to like when he's just talking to people?
Would that be freaky in real life?
Probably.
Yeah,
but the thing is,
used to it, I guess. But
I think in just a regular panel, they don't want to. Even if he's just standing around, they want you to remember, hey, this guy has superpowers, and that's why you see him, stretching when he doesn't need to.
Yeah. Oh, that's kind of cool. So I guess I would do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's probably good that I don't have superpowers. I would misuse them. I wouldn't be evil, but I would misuse them, I guess.
Okay.
All right. So Sandy breaks loose, and he breaks into this wedding.
Yeah, in the park.
Yeah, and this couple is getting married, and the mother doesn't like the groom, and Sandy's fighting JLA, and he's beating him up, and then the bride tells the groom to go help, so they start throwing pies at the monster, and it works. I'm not sure how, that it does.
Yeah.
So then Sandy escapes by turning into sand. Then he goes into a baseball game, and kind of the same thing happens. Then he goes to the beach. It's Machismo Beach. And
Oh, instead of Muscle Beach.
yeah,
Got it.
York City.
Right.
Yeah. So then they figure out that there's earthquakes going on, and Sandy's actually helping by protecting against earthquake, and he's unable to talk.
Yeah.
So he's got to fight the earthquake. So,
Right.
so JLA fixes the earthquake. Superman uses the magic lasso and stitches up the earth. And,
Yeah.
And
Wonder Woman's magic lasso, yeah. Yeah, and they learned that Sandy hadn't really... Physically, he had changed forms, but his mind was okay. He just didn't learn how to talk. And then Sandman feels really guilty because he had basically kept him in suspended animation for all those years.
Mm-hmm.
And kind of, it's a bummer note. Sandman's really bummed, and that's kind of the end of the story.
Yeah.
I do love all these stories on Earth, too, and I love that we got to see plenty of action with Our Man, who is one of my favorite members of the Justice Society, and he's getting his own show on television.
Really? Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah, but they're changing it. It's not going to be him, like, taking a pill that gives him powers for an hour. It's going to be, like, he has precog of, like, things that are going to happen in an hour. And so it's, like,
That's been done before.
racing against the clock.
I've heard this before.
Yeah.
And sounds stupid. Now, if you're going to use a character, just use him as he is. Don't change it around. I mean,
Well, yeah. I mean, that concept that they're changing it to, that's fine. That's a fine for show. But why can't we have Our Man as Our Man?
Yeah.
That we know.
With 60-Minute Man. You had your own song. It's a 60-Minute Man. It's an old blues song.
Oh, I don't know it.
Very dirty.
Well, right. I can just imagine.
All right. Freedom Train is the next one.
We've just got this 2-page spread about the Freedom Train, and it's a thing that was happening around the bicentennial. A train that traveled around the country with, toured the states and displayed lots of our famous documents and, I don't know, relics of Los Estados Unidos.
Actually, I didn't know anything about this. I thought this was made up for the comics. So it must have passed me by. But...
I guess so.
Mm-hmm.
But fittingly enough, we see the Justice Society, their story in this book has quite a bit to do with something very similar. And the story is The Case of the Patriotic Crimes from All-Star Comics number 41. It's written by John Broome with art by, hold your breath, Alex Toth, Carmine Infantino, Frank Giacoia, Arthur Petty, Bernard Sachs, and Erwin Hasen. We've got a whole bushel of comics legends working on this story.
Yeah, not a bad one.
No, it's pretty cool. And this is, if I remember, it's the Injustice Society.
It's a new Injustice Society.
That's right, the new Injustice
with
Society.
The Fiddler, the Wizard, the Sportsmaster, the Huntress, and Icicle.
That's right. And the original Injustice Society had some of these guys. I know the Wizard and Icicle, I think, but they also had Vandal Savage, Per Degaton, the Gambler, and Brainwave? Yeah.
Okay.
So who's in the Justice Society in this story, though? Let's go
Nobody.
back to... Come on.
No, actually, they're all captured. They're all slaves, so they're not actually in the Justice Society.
Humor me. Who's in the splash panel?
Okay. Green Lantern, Hawkman, Black Canary, Wonder Woman.
The Atom, Dr. Midnight, and the Flash.
Yeah.
Is this the first time you've seen the Golden Age Atom?
I think so. Yeah.
The whole thing was he didn't have powers. He was just a little guy. Just a short guy.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
That is funny.
Okay, so what's going on with this story? The Injustice Gang, they want to steal all these U.S. treasures, basically.
Yeah, they steal this train.
Yeah.
And the Justice Society is nowhere to be found. Or Justice League. And
this isn't the Justice Society.
Oh, it's a Justice League of America.
Justice Society.
Oh, then what the devil?
We're on Earth, too.
Oh, all right.
In the Golden Age.
Yeah. Oh, so Black Canaries, where's everybody at? So they were captured by the Injustice Society.
Yeah.
Oh, and the Injustice Society is sitting around a table, and they have their name plates.
Of course.
So I love that. Oh, so who steals the? Well, one of them stole the Freedom Train or the Liberty Train, I think.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
And so they says, well, we can do good too. And so they have a competition to see who can steal the craziest patriotic thing.
Yeah.
Which is what a goofball thing to do. So,
but it's kind of cool. Supervillains, they're in league with each other, but they're also in competition.
mm-hmm.
I don't know. It makes for a pretty fun story.
Yeah. Oh, so the Wizard steals the Constitution, Fiddler the Liberty Bell, the Huntress the Plymouth Rock, Icicle the Washington Monument. Yikes.
Yeah.
Oh. So then whoever steals the best thing, they will be the leader.
I guess, yeah.
And so
and one of them tries to steal old Ironsides, which is a ship or something.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So Black Canary comes into the Justice League house,
Or the Injustice.
whatever, and she finds what's her name, Harlequin, who is actually a villainess for the simple reason she wants to go out with Green Lantern.
Yeah.
And that's the only reason she's bad.
Yeah, she actually would be the mother of the Golden Age Green Lantern's children.
Oh.
He had two. He had a son and a daughter with her, Jade and Obsidian, and they would show up many moons later in comics. Yeah, apparently. So yeah.
Oh. Do we have any people, guys who turn a villain to get like Wonder Woman or a Supergirl?
I think you'll have like super villains and they capture, they use evil means to try and like capture a girl or something, but then,
But she wasn't trying to capture, she was trying to...
she was trying to win him over, win his heart, or get his attention.
I don't know. I don't
You just gotta shrug and be like, chicks, man.
Yeah. Alright, so they, these Justice Society people are all doing chores because they are under the influence of the Wizard, I think.
Yeah.
And so they're sweeping and polishing stuff, and it's kind of funny.
Yeah, so they're cleaning the Injustice Society's hideout.
Yeah.
But yeah, didn't the Harlequin and Icicle get the drop on the Black Canary because she showed up at the Justice Society's headquarters? And
Well, the Harlequin was knocked out, and she was on the table. And so she teams up with the Black Canary, and then Icicle comes in and bashes them. So they're going to kill them. But then they stole all this cool stuff, but now they don't know who's the best one. So they decide to get to
oh boy,
to solve this problem by getting a democracy to vote on it. So they steal the stadium, take it somewhere, and have them vote. Who's the greatest thief?
Yeah, a stadium full of people there for a sporting event or something, and they kidnap them all, or they hold it captive until the people to vote and decide which crime was the most dastardly, which is hilarious.
Yeah, and the Fiddler. Okay, so a lot of it
I liked Fiddler's fight with Dr. Midnight though, because Dr. Midnight he's got a cool costume.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Stealing the Washington Monument is absurd. They got some kind of super plane.
Yeah, but I like Green Lantern's fight with the Icicle. That's cool.
So what happens when they well, gosh. Oh, so they. Black Canary and Harlequin free them for a little bit, and then they get back and they get captured again. All the Justice Society people.
Right.
So the people in the stadium get ticked off and they beat them up.
They beat up the Injustice Society.
Yeah, they attack them, and then so Harlequin and Black Canary convince them, hey, you're like GL, you're a superhero, and I am. And then
Yeah.
yes, I am. I'm a superhero, and then they start doing superhero stuff, and it's we're not slaves, we're superheroes, and they come and save the day.
Yeah.
The end. It's pretty cool though.
Yeah.
It was a nice little story.
It's kind of weird, but this story is a load of fun.
Mm-hmm. And
Of course, Wonder Woman does the whole bullets bouncing off the bracelets thing when the Huntress fires on it, which is cool.
yeah.
And fun stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yep. All right.
Cool.
So now we got the Cavern of the Deadly Spears.
That's right. Yes, the Cavern of the Deadly Spears it's reprinted from Justice League of America number 16. It's written by Gardner Fox with art by Mike Sikowski and Bernard Sachs.
Okay, roll call. Adam, Aquaman, Batman, Flash, Green Arrow, Green Lantern, John Jones, Snapper Carr, Superman, and Wonder Woman. It's a pretty good little...
Yeah. Quite the powerful collection of superheroes.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Oh, this is a goofball one.
Yeah. Yes,
so
this was fun.
there's these crimes being committed, and the superheroes come and try to save the day, and they start dancing, and it works on all of them.
Yeah, there's this villain, the Maestro, and he's using music to control people and make them dance, and so he can commit all these crimes.
Yeah. Oh.
And so the Justice Leaguers are trying to resist the siren song or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
and it kind of works. They're kind of able to break free, but not.
Finally, one of them's doing the Russian dance, and there's all kinds of dances. It's kind of an acrobatic dance, an Indian war dance, and a whirling dervish.
It's
So
funny to see the Martian Manhunter whistling.
Yeah. Oh, so they get captured, and they put in these spheres where these spheres have defenses against each one of them.
Each of their powers, it kind of
Yeah.
nullifies them.
Mm-hmm.
And so this Maestro was like, I've got the Justice League, no one's ever beat them, and they're on an unstoppable trap. Well, the League realized that it wasn't actually sound, but it was like vibrations or something else. They're kind of clued into that. But there's a twist.
It didn't happen.
Yeah.
Man.
It was a comic book story that somebody wrote, drew, and sent to, or that wrote and sent to the League, and then they all sit around trying to figure out how they could have gotten out of it,
Right.
looking for a hole in the story. And the Atom realizes that when he was shrunk, he couldn't have possibly heard the music. That's how they.
Okay, I've not heard this before. And so he's deaf when he's small?
I think it's that frequency was too, I don't know, whatever at that. It doesn't make sense. Because he wouldn't have been able to hear it when he was traveling through a phone line. Because he wouldn't.
Yeah.
So,
But
yeah.
then he wasn't dancing in the phone line. Yeah.
I don't know.
But we get this scene of these superheroes sitting around pondering how to get out of it.
Yeah,
So,
and then Snapper Carr draws the story, which is funny.
yeah. Well, I'm glad he's doing something.
Yeah. But what was the one? They were like, man, and we've never been beat, but boy, we could have been, or something stupid like that.
Yeah. Nah.
Yeah.
Well, it was fun. It was good. I was getting into it, then I've been gypped.
Yeah,
They lied.
It's a cheat. There's so many. That's the one thing I understand why some people were like, especially in the Silver Age, were like either Marvel or DC, because you go to DC and it's like a lot of the stories are like, that's a cheat, man.
Yeah.
It's always trick endings and weird things like that,
Yeah.
which I've grown to really like.
Right.
But I can get the straightforwardness of Marvel, like, no, we beat that guy, and he either got away or he didn't.
Right.
Or,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah. Although sometimes Marvel was left it up more in the air than DC would.
Well, yeah. I mean, I think Marvel would have heroes lose a lot more, which is kind of cool.
I like that.
The fact that they're not perfect was what made the difference.
Mm-hmm.
And then you read both side by side, and you're like, wow, there's so much interesting stuff going on in comics.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah. So I like the goofiness of DC.
I do too.
But let's move on. We've got Justice League of America number 114, another 100-page super spectacular. And I love these.
Okay, they're breaking the fourth wall. We're looking up a
from the inside of a box or something. This is in our splash panel.
And we have Hawkman, Atom, Batman, and the Flash looking down upon us.
And Green Lantern.
Oh, Green Lantern, yeah.
So, but the lead story is The Return of Anachronus, written by Len Wein, with art by Dick Dillon and Dick Giordano.
Yeah.
So the League are having this, holding a telethon for charity.
Mm-hmm.
And
for $10 million, they got $10 million so far, which was a tremendous amount of money then. That would be cool. So I can see them doing that. Although, wouldn't that be the time to commit crimes?
Yeah.
Hey, they're holding a telethon. Let's go rob a bank.
Yeah, it's time to commit super crimes. But we get a supervillain show up, Anachronus.
Yeah, he's wearing a Roman helmet.
Yeah.
And, cool looking gun.
Yeah,
awesome.
And he's got, a cape and a big red suit with blue gloves and boots. And, he looks pretty cool. But he shows up at Snapper Carr's house.
Mm-hmm.
And thinks he's going to, force him to get him in touch with the League.
And he tells them how that he kicked their butts before by making these biker gang into knights.
Yeah, well, he was a henchman or partnered with the Lord of Time in a previous Justice League adventure, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And he tells him how, he had invented all this complex machinery and all this stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, and then the superheroes came in and destroyed it all. Now he's really ticked. So.
Yeah, so he wants revenge. Because
Right.
It took him years to build all that stuff, apparently.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I guess I'd be mad too.
Yeah. Anachronus calls the telethon and gets Green Lantern on the phone, or Green Arrow.
Green Arrow is kind of ticked off.
Yeah, he's just surly with him, and he thinks he's just another. It's a crank call because they've had several.
Yeah.
So Anachronus is getting really PO'd because no one's taking him seriously.
Right. Yeah. Oh, and at the telethon they have they don't say it, but old Blue Eyes. Who else could that be?
Frank Sinatra.
Yeah. The picture does not look like Frank Sinatra.
Yeah.
And Sinatra never wore a cravat.
Right.
Yeah. So Anachronus keeps on telling his stories. So he makes these super soldiers, and one fighting against the Aquaman is called Aquamarine. I thought that was funny.
Yeah.
And they're sky soldiers, and that's airborne soldiers are sometimes called sky soldiers.
Sure. But Aquamarine is a ridiculous play on words.
Yeah. Actually, I was amused.
Yeah.
All right. So and then he fights against Superman by making these. Oh, what is it? A ducto lizard from the distant future, and a fire-breathing dragon.
Yeah.
And beats up Superman.
Yeah. But
it's all he just made it up.
Yeah, he's a liar. And the
It's
League
an
show up and beat this guy up. They respond to Snapper, gets a hold of him.
And his ray gun was actually a 45, dressed up, and wow, and they made another $500,000 on the telethon.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool. Oh, Red Tornado is wearing his new outfit.
Yeah, it looks really cool.
Mm-hmm. And fascinating. Such an impressive looking weapon, and yet it's only a 45 automatic. Fancy it look like a ray gun. Cool. All right.
Yeah. It's kind of funny, though.
Yeah. Oh, I was thinking something was wrong with the color here, but it's actually someone did the crossword puzzle in dark ink.
Yeah.
Oh, he must have been really smart because he did it in ink.
Yeah.
That's all right.
So we've got a Golden Age reprint It's from an ongoing feature called Just a Story, and this is called Detour. It's from Comic Cavalcade number 18, and it's from the 40s. I don't remember what year, but written and illustrated by Howard Purcell, and an interesting story.
Yeah. Kid Kitchen is about to be executed, and a blind man is going around casing joints, which is kind of interesting.
Yeah.
So, and let's see, and a kid loses his dog, and Kid Kitchen, what a stupid. He's from Hell's Kitchen, so that's why it's Kid Kitchen. But still, I'd rather have a better name.
Yeah, but the crime guys get their goofy nicknames like Eddie the Squid, like whatever. They just get called names like that, and I don't know if they pick them.
Yeah, right. I guess not. Other Babyface Nelson in real life hated being called Babyface, so.
Okay.
So Kid Kitchen escapes because he's supposed to be killed on the chair at midnight.
Right.
So the kid loses his dog, asks Kid Kitchen for help, and Kid Kitchen's mad, but he helps him.
Yeah.
And these other kids are committing crimes.
Yeah.
And is it the kid who lost his dog? Is that the one who's actually Kid Kitchen's son? Or is that no? He was in the gang.
Okay.
So one of the gang members was actually Kid Kitchen's son, but his mother didn't tell him about that because he didn't want to make him feel bad.
Right.
And so the cops are after them. So Kid Kitchen runs into the museum, and he is going to shoot the cops, but he doesn't because the kid runs out with the dog, and the cops shoot him, and he falls back into a coincidentally placed electric chair. So he dies in electric chair at midnight anyway. Dun,
yeah.
Dun, dun.
Even though he did a good deed.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, it's a weird
one of the
story.
cops is a little bit of bad in the best of us, a little bit of good in the worst of us. Come on, kid, I'm taking you home. Funny, he died in a chair at midnight after all. Bong, bong, bong. 1,000,000 lives, 1,000,000 dreams, 1,000,000 hopes. Oh, but the blind guy gets hit on the head and he turns blind. And so the kid finds out about his father.
Oh, because the guy was just pretending to be blind.
Right.
And then he was blinded by it for real.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yay. So, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, we get a bunch of little trivial things, and I couldn't figure. I didn't know most of it.
This was there's some matching game about like superhero boots or something.
Yeah, I forgot to look at the answers.
I just kind of skimmed past it, so.
Yeah, I did too. So.
But this is kind of a fun little bonus thing that came along with these 100-page super spectaculars. They did some other fun stuff.
Yeah, JLA Heroes of the Past. What's his name?
Snapper Carr.
The Joker outfit. Is that Snapper Carr?
Yeah. Apparently he betrayed the Justice League to the Joker, which I haven't read that story, but I think he was manipulated by the Joker or something like that.
Right. And Zatanna there, we saw her last week. Metamorpho, the Element Man. He doesn't want to be...
he was the first person to turn down an offer of membership in the Justice League because he wanted to be cured of his power.
I would stay in there for a while. I don't know. What are the benefits of being in hanging out with people who are super powered like yourself?
Yeah.
And
I think the camaraderie of it.
Comic books.
Oh yeah, I mean, you would think look, you could still be a superhero and be hanging out with the League, and maybe they could try and help you. Mm-hmm. You could.
Yeah, and they, and then you don't want to have your superpowers. They probably say, hey, we'll see what we can do.
Yeah.
They're nice guys. They understand how hard it is to be a superhero.
Yeah. But not to be kind of the freak who never fails. That was what Metamorpho was referred to sometimes.
Really?
Yeah. Well, because he was he could change his substance into anything on the periodic table, but he couldn't be just a regular guy.
Oh, yeah.
So that's kind of a problem. So we've got to. Oh man, let me tell you, I'm so excited about this next story. Okay. Reprinted from Justice League of America, number 29 and 30, we've got Crisis on Earth 3. written by Gardner Fox, with art by Mike Sikowski and Bernard Sachs. This is only the second or third Justice League, Justice Society team-up.
Mm-hmm.
And it is the first story with the Crime Syndicate of America from Earth 3.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the timing is perfect for us to talk about this story because in current comics, in the New 52, the Crime Syndicate are in this big storyline called Forever Evil. They've taken over Earth 1, and it's a big deal. That's what's happening at DC right now.
This is odd. We're doing something that has something to do with today.
Right.
Everything is 40 years old and all. I like it, but that's what. Okay, you want me to do the roll call?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. From Earth 1, we have the Flash, Wonder Woman, Superman, Batman, and Green Lantern. From Earth 2, the Justice Society of America, we have Hawkman, Black Canary, Dr. Fate, Dr. Midnight, and Starman. And from Earth 3, they do not have superheroes. All they have is supervillains.
Yes.
We have Superwoman, Owlman, Ultraman, Johnny Quick, and Power Ring.
Yeah.
Man, I do not like Ultraman's outfit. It makes him look wide.
He's wearing these big shoulder pants. Yeah, it's goofy.
And he's in the 80s, I guess. I don't know.
Oh. He was ahead of his time then.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So Superwoman looks like she's Wonder Woman. And,
yeah, she's an evil counterpart of Wonder Woman.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Owlman's Batman.
Yeah.
Ultraman's Superman.
Yeah.
Johnny Quick is a Flash. Power Ring is GL.
Yeah, but I think the difference is I don't think that Ultraman is necessarily from a parallel Krypton. Maybe.
Something. Well, Kryptonite, excuse me,
actually gives him extra powers.
Right.
Kind of like how red Kryptonite affects Superman weirdly every time he comes in contact with it. And Johnny Quick is not Barry Allen on another parallel Earth, and Power Ring isn't Hal Jordan.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure that Superwoman is Diana, and that Owlman is Thomas Wayne Jr., I believe.
Yeah.
So he isn't Bruce Wayne, but anyway, they rule Earth 3 with an iron fist.
Yeah.
And they're bored because there's no one that can challenge them. And Ultraman comes into contact with some kryptonite, and this gives him the ability to see that there is a multiverse. And they get the bright idea of, hey, let's go to Earth 1 or Earth 2 and combat our heroic counterparts. Yeah. They're like, what? These guys have superpowers and they don't rule the world? They do good deeds?
Yeah.
So
I mean, you think, maybe we're doing it wrong. But there's no reason for superheroes on a place with no supervillains.
Well, right.
So they change, yeah, because I was saying, what's going on? I didn't know about the Earth 3, and I says, well, that's odd. Oh, they're fighting against the police. Wow, okay.
Yeah.
Earth 3 is way different from our Earth, because
Britain won its independence from America.
Yeah, Columbus was an American who discovered Europe. And actor Abe Lincoln shot President John Wilkes Booth. Man.
So it's just topsy-turvy on
oh, wow.
Earth 3.
Yeah, let's see. But it's pretty so there are stealing stuff and the supervillains, and they almost get caught and say, man, we're getting sloppy, and because we don't have anything to fight against.
So,
so let's go fight these superheroes. So they go to Earth 1.
Yep.
I didn't read the scientific facts.
Oh,
man. Okay. They can get freshwater fish out of the desert.
Yeah, I thought that was weird.
Yeah, okay.
It's a short like one panel filler at the bottom of a page. It's weird. But anyway.
So they come and they just kick butt stealing stuff. I mean, if you have superpowers, I mean, you don't need that much money. I mean,
maybe it's an ego thing.
Right.
Like, haha, I dare anybody to stop me.
Yeah.
It's
probably why they do silly stuff too.
Well, it's kind of like, okay, remember the villains on the Batman TV show?
Right.
They acted like that. even daring people to stop them, even though they had like no powers to back it up.
Right.
And so that they'd always get caught.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the only villain on the old Batman show that had anything was Mr. Freeze, because he had the cold gun.
Yeah. The Joker was super nutty.
Yeah, but you know what I mean.
Right.
That was the closest they had anything super powered related on that show, which was fine.
Yeah, that's fun. What a great show. And
oh yeah.
I'm waiting for it to come on DVD with lots of extras, and I'm not sure if I'll live to see that. All right, so Justice League hears about the Injustice League? Is that
it's the Crime Syndicate of America. Syndicate.
So they send out their people, but they get mixed up. So it's the Flash against Wonder Man. Ultraman. Oh, yeah. And I'll never get these names straight. So,
well, I'll help you.
And then Batman versus Johnny Quick.
Which is cool.
Yeah. Good fight.
Yeah.
Let's see. Superman versus
Power Ring.
And
Wonder Woman fights Superwoman.
Yeah.
Because they're not going to have... Because they didn't want to show a guy punching a lady.
Right. Yeah, and I bluff.
Isn't that nice?
Yeah.
It is nice.
Yeah, all right. Wonder...
Superwoman,
yeah, makes a incredible creature and looks really cool.
Oh.
And but they get beat, the bad guys, but they say this word Volthoom, which brings them and the superheroes to Earth 3.
Yeah.
Get captured.
And it's cool, I think, where we see Owlman fighting Green Lantern.
Mm-hmm.
And it's cool because they don't all have, like, it's not a perfect matchup of... Mm-hmm. They're evil counterparts of the Justice League, but they don't have exactly the same powers. Like, Owlman has, like, mental powers.
Yeah.
Which is kind of interesting.
Right.
And you don't see him get into fisticuffs as much as Batman. He actually looks a little bit paunchy and out of shape.
Yeah, looks like a banker or something. He's super clever, though. I like that.
Yeah.
So then they go to Earth 2 and do the same thing.
To the Justice Society.
Yeah. But the Earth 1 superheroes warn them about the Volthoom and all that.
Yeah. So they're like, don't touch them.
Yeah.
Because if you can touch them, then they can save Volthoom. And...
But Owlman has already got Plan B.
Yeah.
And he kicks their butt. Let's see.
Great to see Hawkman against Johnny Quick.
Mm-hmm.
And Dr. Fate against Power Ring.
Yeah. Oh. So.
And it looks like the Justice Society is going to win. Oh, they lose because they win.
Right.
Like Dr. Midnight fighting Owlman. And
yeah.
And it was hard to believe that Black Canary beat Superwoman.
Right. Does she do? Oh, she puts in a cold pill. So I mean, man, feeding my dog a pill is hard. To fight some super person you're fighting, you throw in a pill in their mouth.
Guess what? It's a comic book.
Yeah. I keep forgetting.
Oh, and Starman versus Ultraman is rad. And this is really cool. They're fighting in space.
Mm-hmm.
And Starman uses solar energy to bring... He thinks, maybe kryptonite will hurt Ultraman. And so he brings all this kryptonite, but it doesn't work. It gives him extra powers. And then Ultraman steals the gravity rod, or the cosmic rod.
Mm-hmm.
But then that was Starman's plan, because then he could like trap him in space or whatever.
Yeah.
But, again, it was part of Owlman's plan all along for the Justice...
Yeah, that was clever. That was very clever. I was impressed.
Excuse me, the Crime Syndicate.
Yeah.
But yeah. Even I almost said Injustice Gang or Injustice Society.
Yeah.
But it's cool when they finally face off against their actual counterparts. Green Lantern against Power Ring, and he wails on him.
Right. What they do is give him too much power. And so Power Ring makes this big mallet, but he has so much power that the mallet gets bigger and bigger and he can't control it.
Oh, yeah,
and
that's right.
And the same thing with Superwoman versus Wonder Woman.
Yeah. And I like that.
Yeah.
That's clever.
It is clever. And Owlman...
Owlman's fight with Batman is sweet.
Yeah. So all right, he controls the left side of the brain. So what Batman does is turn around. So instead of the left side, he's controlling the right,
Yeah.
and then he just turns around again and smacks him.
Yeah, because Owlman had been using his mental powers to have Batman miss every time he swung at him.
Right.
But by Batman deciding, I'm just going to turn around, it was something that Owlman couldn't like predict, and then he was able to land a punch.
Yeah, because he's going to use instead of working on the left side of the brain, he's working on the right, and that controls his fist or something like that. So,
Yeah.
Yeah, but all right. So they get beat, and they're all sad. All right. So this is the odd part about it. I thought of an odd comic book.
Yeah. But great. This is a super classic.
Yeah. So they're going to send them to Earth 2, and now they look all worried. And says, why do these supervillains look worried when we say we're going to Earth 2? How about putting them on Earth 1? And then look weird. Now they look worried again. So put isolate them in a vibrational barrier.
Yeah.
And they look happy about that. So what they figure out is they got a bomb that's going to blow up Earth 2 superheroes and Earth 1 and Earth 2.
Oh, that's right. So the crime syndicate didn't want to get trapped on one of those Earths because it was going to blow everybody up. And I'm with it.
That was just too cruel. I mean, they're bad guys, but this is, mega maniacal, super evil, and I don't know.
That's generally how they've been portrayed. They're pretty completely ruthless and amoral, and it's really cool. This is their first appearance, but I could only think of maybe 5 or 6 other stories where the crime syndicate have appeared in like the 40 plus years since their inception. So they've been used very sparingly and always very effectively. But how did they beat them in the end? They trapped them in this other dimensional thing or something, suspended them in.
Yeah, they imprisoned them in where?
Some place outside of any of those Earths, which is weird. I figured Superman would have just put them in the Phantom Zone,
right?
With the Phantom Zone projector.
Yeah,
that would have made better sense.
In the misty borderland between worlds.
Yeah, but maybe Superman only uses the Phantom Zone projector on Kryptonians, like because it's like that's outside of.
Yeah.
He has a weird feeling about it, maybe.
Yeah. But they're in a green sphere, and they're going to sit there for the rest of their life, and there's no food and air and all this.
But here's the thing: if you're in a suspended state, you don't need any. They look
like they're just hanging out. They didn't look suspended to me.
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know is the answer. But I was just thinking about the Phantom Zone. Yeah, Superman only uses it on Kryptonians, and I guess maybe that's like a thing about it. Like he feels that he shouldn't unless you're Kryptonian.
Unless it doesn't work very well if you're not Kryptonian.
Well, I don't know. I don't think that's been explored. Yeah.
I'm sure it has.
The only non-Kryptonian that I've seen in the Phantom Zone was Mon-El from the Legion of Superheroes. He was from the planet Daxam. He was a Daxamite, and so they had very similar powers to Kryptonians, and they thought he was a Kryptonian. And so he was there because he had a deadly allergy to like mercury or something like that, and so I think it was mercury or something or lead. It was lead.
Oh, okay.
And so he had deadly lead poisoning, and so he had to stay in the Phantom Zone until a cure could be found for him. And then he was released in like the 30th century.
Yeah.
So
goodness. Okay.
Yeah. But the time basically stands still in the Phantom Zone. I mean, you experience it, but you don't. It's weird. Anyway.
Yeah.
So I was just thinking, like, why didn't Superman put Luthor or Brainiac in the Phantom Zone? Because they're not Kryptonian. It's for Kryptonian criminals only.
Yeah.
Or it was to save somebody's life, like Mon-El.
So it must be a moral thing, then.
Yeah, it must be a moral thing. So, and that's okay. Superman's high morals. So we've got Ka-Zar number 3, and this is from this first volume. It ran 3 issues. And it was just his first series was just reprinting some popular guest appearances with Ka-Zar.
Oh, yeah. Ka-Zar is cool.
Yeah,
with Zabu, the saber-toothed tiger.
Yeah, I love Zabu.
Zabu.
Yeah,
okay.
But yes, the lead story in this book is The Coming of Ka-Zar from Amazing Spider-Man number 57, written by Stan Lee with art by John Romita, Don Heck, and Mickey DeMeo.
Yeah. When things are written by the Stanley, are they actually written by him?
At least the dialogue is.
Okay.
He may have come up with a rough plot, and then had the Marvel method was, let's plot it, and you guys you just kind of illustrate the story how you whatever, and then I add dialogue in later.
Mm-hmm.
That was the Marvel method. And DC was, you write a full script, and then the artist illustrates it. And there's a big difference in how those comics kind of come out. I prefer full script if I was going to write,
Mm-hmm.
but the Marvel method, it works. It's interesting. You've got to have a big imagination as an illustrator for that to work.
Right.
But it also had a signature feel because Stan was writing most of the dialogue for all these books, so they all kind of have that vibe.
Right.
So,
Dan Close said how they did the Jimmy Olsen's was someone would draw a cover of Jimmy Olsen as Turtle Boy and says, "Here, write a story."
Yeah.
And so,
yeah.
Which is why they're so convoluted a lot of times. But
yeah, they're very strange.
All right, hey, we got Spider-Man. We haven't seen the Spidey in a long time.
Yeah.
Have we ever done a Spidey?
We've done Spider-Man. When you and I first started doing the show, we did some Spider-Mans, and we have some Spidey stuff coming up very soon. So.
Yeah, that's right. I remember. Okay. So Spidey he doesn't know who he is, but he knows enough to keep his mask on.
He knows he's Spider-Man, but he doesn't know who he is other than that.
And he steals some sandwiches because
Yeah.
he's hungry.
Yeah.
Oh, and Aunt May gets sick again. God.
She's worried because Peter hasn't come home.
And she collapses. Oh, and it's I have had sick older women in my life. You worry about them, and I don't know. I think it's overused, and
Sure.
and then I cringe when I see this.
Right.
Oh, so Jameson, J. Jonah Jameson, has a son who's in the army. Right?
Right.
Son, right? And it's a colonel, in fact.
Well, he's an astronaut.
Cool. And so he lets Spider-Man go, and he's in trouble, and his father's angry, and as usual. That's pretty cool, though. So Ka-Zar comes with Zabu.
Yeah.
And comes off the airline, and he is dressed to the nines.
Yeah, he's got his cravat, and he's got this white suit and stuff, and he's got Zabu on a leash with him, which is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And people are freaked out by Zabu, especially he takes Zabu in a cab.
Yeah.
To his hotel. As soon as he gets in the hotel room, he's like, "Get off with these clothes."
Right.
I hate civilization.
Mm-hmm.
J. Jonah Jameson shows up and enlists Ka-Zar to try and capture Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Because apparently Spidey had just been brainwashed or something by Doc Ock and had helped him to do some villainous thing. And so he's playing up this angle.
Yeah, Ka-Zar does not like J. Jonah Jameson, but he believes him anyway.
Yeah.
Oh, and then
Harry Osborn, who has an apartment with Peter Parker, finds a spider tracer in Peter's room and thinks that Spider-Man has kidnapped Peter.
Yeah. Oh, so Spider-Man is going around and I feel a spider I should go to this hospital, but he passes by and there's Aunt May.
Yeah.
And he goes in this other place.
The police station, I think.
Yeah.
And he talks to Captain Stacy. He's like, "Look," and John Jameson, I think, right?
Yeah.
He's like, "Look, I have no idea who I am." And Gwen Stacy shows up, and she's mad because she thinks that he's done something to Peter.
Yeah, but her perfume, the very touch of her, makes my heart pound.
He feels he knows her, but he doesn't know how. And that's
Right.
his girlfriend.
Yeah. I'd be interested in get amnesia. That's sort of
Yeah.
I've never known anyone. I've known people who get old and they forget people
Right.
and all that, but that's about it.
I've heard that sometimes in certain surgeries, you'll have a temporary post-surgery amnesia.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, there's this really cute video that went around the internet recently about a guy. He was post-surgery, and he's talking to his wife and has no idea who she is. And she's like, "Wow, you're beautiful." She's like, "Thanks." And she's like, "Do you know who I am?" I'm like, "No." Or he's like, I'm your wife. She's like, you're my wife? I hit the jackpot. He's like, you're the most beautiful girl I've ever seen. And she's laughing and stuff. But it was so sweet and heartwarming.
Yeah, it was. I saw that as well. And
yeah.
It was gorgeous.
Yeah.
Spider-Man goes into a newspaper place so he can get some information. And of course, it's J. Jonah Jameson.
Yeah, he's like, do I have a history of teaming up with Doc Ock?
Yeah.
And he goes into Jameson's office, and he, of course, thinks he's going to unmask Spider-Man. But then Ka-Zar shows up and starts fighting him. Yeah, and Jameson's pissed because he was about to unmask Spidey.
Yeah, and oh, man. Yeah, that was a great scene because Jameson was being pretty clever for once. Usually he's kind of stupid.
But when you see him just trying to be sneaky and stuff, I love that.
Mm-hmm.
So this fight with Ka-Zar is pretty cool. Ka-Zar stole a grappling hook from a construction worker.
Yeah. Oh, man. And Spider-Man doesn't know what to do, and he's running out of web fluid.
Yeah. And it's cool because the amnesia includes not remembering how to reload his web shooters.
Right.
So
he gets beat up by Ka-Zar, and it looks like he's dead.
But
Did he die?
Probably not. So, and that's kind of left on a cliffhanger. So our next story in this, which is super sweet, starring probably my favorite Marvel superhero, the story is If This Be Justice from Daredevil number 14.
Mm-hmm.
And it's written by Stan Lee, with art by John Romita and Frank Giacoia. And it's Ka-Zar and Ka-Zar's brother, Parnival, the Plunderer.
Yeah, Lord Plunder.
Yeah.
Are their proper names.
Yeah, which is funny. I think the Plunderer is the most lazily named supervillain. You just added an ER to your last name.
Yeah.
That's almost as bad as the Melter. He melts stuff,
Well, you don't have to buy new monogram handkerchiefs.
That's true.
So, you got to think about these things.
Okay, so how does this story start, though?
Daredevil and Ka-Zar gets their butt kicked.
And they're in England.
Mm-hmm. And
I think
Ka-Zar is brother, who has jet black hair.
He looks like Dracula with an earring.
Yeah. I guess that's because he's a pirate.
Yeah.
Indeed. And, I don't know. They're trying to get this medallion, and the Lord Plunder or somebody has one half, and Ka-Zar had the other half. Because
they're brothers, and their father, when he died, gave them each a half of the medallion. And Ka-Zar rejected civilization and went to the jungle, and Parnival, the Plunderer, he was like, no, I'm into the city and stuff.
No, and he's turned into a pirate.
Yeah.
And the medallion opens up this vibrating ore, which
I believe is vibranium.
Okay.
Which comes into play. It's a pretty big deal as an element in Marvel Comics. So.
Oh, okay, cool. So Daredevil follows them and hears all about this and gets in the fight and he gets trapped and the police come, they shoot him and shoot at him, but he escapes.
Yeah.
Pretty cool battle.
Then the Plunderer gets both halves of the medallion because he gets Ka-Zar's half and opens this thing and he finds the vibrating ore, which then he calls the Plunder Stone, and he uses it to power this weapon that will destroy metals. Yeah.
And so the costume for the Plunderer. That's kind of. Oh, yeah.
But then all his henchmen have basically the same costume.
And the same weapon.
And they all have capes. Henchmen should not have capes.
Yeah.
The lead hero or villain should have the cape.
And cows. It'd be a mistake because here, Daredevil knocks one of the henchmen out and puts on his outfit, and they have a cowl so you can't see his face very well.
Right.
So you want to see who you're with. I mean, duh.
Yeah. It's weird, though, because he's able to put it on over his own costume.
Mm-hmm.
And because, Daredevil's mask doesn't have eye holes because he's blind.
Yeah. Oh, they are red.
Yeah. But then also when he wears this other guy's cowl, you don't see, the horn indentations.
Yeah.
Because the little horns on Daredevil's head.
Yeah. Are the horns just fabric? I guess I don't know.
Well, I don't know. I think they're little,
Are they
you know,
pieces of plastic or
something.
wooden or I don't
I
know.
don't know the material of which they are composed.
Yeah. Okay. We're not supposed to know. So, man, so I didn't even think of this. So he has to keep his head averted. He said that. So, man, his eyes will give him away. And how impossible is this? To go into a submarine, which is what they're going to do,
Right.
and no one will see his face at all?
Yeah.
Hmm. Okay. Well, it's a comic book.
Yeah. Do like comic books.
Yeah. So they attack
The villains
a
do.
missile base, and they just blow away the army, and the army's
Yeah.
embarrassed.
And then they figure out that the plunderers' guns are made of plastic, and that's the trick. Plastic stuff isn't affected by the plunder stone.
So what they need to do is use Lego.
That's right. So as soon as there are plastic guns, you can make them, and
Yeah.
so they're like, oh, as soon as we get plastic guns, then they can stop the plunderer.
Or they can just get plastic. Sticks made of heavy sticks made of plastic, and they're good to go and bash the guys on the head.
Sure.
You win. So Ka-Zar is in the Hooskow. He's
On trial for a murder he didn't commit.
right.
That obviously was committed by Carnival,
Yeah.
the plunderer.
So it gets mad and escapes in the middle of court. It's
Yeah.
kind of cool.
Yeah.
Oh man, all the English people have bad teeth.
Of course.
Oh.
Meanwhile, Daredevil is fighting the plunderer and kicking his butt.
Yep. I guess our vibranium wasn't that great enough.
Yeah.
If he just used it to go steal and make some money, he'd been good to go.
But he already
no.
had a fortune. That's the
Yeah.
thing. He wanted to conquer the world. So anyway, Ka-Zar is exonerated by Matt Murdock, attorney at law, which it's weird that he's apparently licensed by the bar in England too, or whatever.
Yeah, that's I don't know.
I don't know how that works.
Yeah, somebody was paid. I don't because who knows. Here is one of these bitter irony things: is that
Foggy is in love with Karen Page.
Karen Page is looking at
Matt.
Matt Murdock with the adoration, but of course Matt cannot see it.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Theirs is such a sad love story that spans decades in comics. So. So, our last feature in this, or unless were you done with the Daredevil?
Oh, yeah, I'm done with that.
So the last feature in this is, I think it's like the second or third part of a multi-part story, but it's a solo story starring the Angel in the Den of the Dazzler, and Jerry Siegel wrote this.
Really?
Yeah.
Well,
which I thought was pretty cool, and actually it kind of reads like a Jerry Siegel, as in it's kind of bad. But I enjoy the art by George Tuska and Dick Ayers.
Yeah, it's interesting. This the bad guy,
this villain, the Dazzler, not to be confused with the chick, the Dazzler.
Right. He's kind of portly and ugly, but man, he treats his minions badly.
As often supervillains do.
And really badly. And they're kind of surly about it, too.
Yeah. What do you think if you're a ex-con or whatever, what are your options? People who become henchmen are desperate men.
Yeah.
And they end up having to take a lot of crap.
Yeah. I don't know. He's off his walker again. he throws a heavy cup at somebody and hits him in the jaw.
Yeah.
Oh.
So the Dazzler has kidnapped the Angel's father?
Yeah, because this girl, Candy, calls his...
Candy Southern, who was the Angel's longtime girlfriend.
Yeah, well, the Angel's father was killed.
That's right. And
Candy is to blame for it somehow. I think she's didn't mean to.
Right.
But he blames her.
Yeah.
And,
have you ever met a girl named Candy?
No.
Okay.
I met a Brandy.
But I think Candy is often kind of like the nickname for girls named Candace.
maybe,
I don't know.
or strippers.
I don't know.
In the 60s.
Sure.
And there's a Candy. Oh, she's a good time girl.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But at least I think so.
I'm not sure. So the Angel busts up on the Dazzler's hideout. He finds him out. And it's cool to see him, like, his wings. He crawls through a vent, and his wings are all wrapped up in under his suit and stuff. It's weird to see him in a closed building, like where he can't really fly around.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really just got to rely on his fists.
Yeah.
Although he manages to fly in the room a little bit.
Right. Yeah. It's kind of. Yeah, he hits somebody so hard he knocks out a tooth.
Yeah, which you don't see that too much.
Mm-hmm.
At least in these days.
Right.
I mean, now, you see somebody get hit really hard and sure they'll lose teeth, but
yeah,
in the period we're looking at, it's not common.
Candy's easy on the eye.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. And, yeah, but, so, she's captured by the guy, the Dazzler. So, the Dazzler says, I'll kill her if you don't surrender. And he surrenders. The end. We don't know what happens next.
Yeah. So, I do know that years later, I think Candy was killed somehow.
She seems like a...
Yeah.
And Candy's Southern. Apparently, she's a Southern girl, I guess. I don't know.
I don't even know. I mean, that is a last name that people have.
Yeah, Terry Southern.
Who's that?
He was a writer. Wrote films. I think he wrote Dr. Strangelove.
Oh, okay. Cool. Mm-hmm. So.
And Southern.
And he was
actress.
Oh, okay. So,
I think. Yeah, okay.
So, anyway, it is a last name that the people have. So, so we've got Ka-Zar Volume 2, Number 3. And this is like from his ongoing series, his first ongoing series, of which he would have several. He had Ka-Zar as an ongoing book. He had the lead feature either previous to this or after this in Astonishing Tales. And then in like 1980, he got his own book again, Ka-Zar the Savage.
Mm-hmm.
So these lasted varying lengths. I think Ka-Zar the Savage lasted the longest at 34 issues. But yeah, I guess it's popular enough they kept trying to give this guy a series. So
yeah.
But anyway, this story is called Night of the Man God.
Yeah, that's what I called my wedding night.
Oh my God. Written by Mike Friedrich and with art by Don Heck and Mike Royer.
Yeah.
Mike Royer, who is one of the best inkers on Kirby. It's interesting to see him with Don Heck. Not sure if I'm into it.
I don't know. I enjoyed these greatly. I like the Ka-Zar.
Oh, good.
And Ka-Zar has a knife called Bloodtooth.
Yeah.
And
which is kind of cool.
Yeah. Apparently, you cannot have contractions. The jungle does not know contractions and first-person pronouns.
Well, you'll see, also, I think, in that Spider-Man story, Ka-Zar spoke in complete sentences.
Yeah.
But then you see in the Daredevil story, his English was broken. And in this, it's kind of like, I don't know. I think the way he speaks depends on the interpretation of the writer.
Yeah.
So.
And the jungle things we saw last time, there are Western people in the jungle, and he's a jungle person.
Yeah.
At least,
he would rather he decided the society sucks and he'd rather be in the jungle.
But what a jungle he is in. It's
true.
Near the Antarctic, and he's got
the Savage Land, which is awesome. Dinosaurs and alien races and weirdness, and we'll see all kinds of crap like that in this story. Or in these next issues that we're going to talk. The rest of everything we're going to talk about for the rest of the show is Ka-Zar. So. Man God is this caveman Magor who is an enemy of Ka-Zar, and he gets superpowers or something, and he turns into this guy.
Mystic Mist.
Yeah, there's all kinds of weird crap.
And if you go into that, it becomes super strong. So,
yeah.
Or something, or some kind of superpower.
And it allows him also to summon someone to help him. And he picks, the lamest supervillain ever, El Tigre, who basically looks like the Frito Bandito.
Without the munchies, apparently.
Yeah, right.
Oh, yeah.
I don't even
He
remember what
uses
else.
bolos, right? Is that his superpower? Or?
Yeah, and to think this guy fought the X-Men, the original X-Men.
Well, maybe we are missing something. But it looks like he's competent, but
What's so ridiculous? You have a
yeah,
Bandito supervillain.
right. Well, we got a great map of the Savage Land.
Yeah,
We have large carnivores. I guess mammalian carnivores,
yeah.
like the spider, saber-tooth.
It's
Tiger.
weird. There's a concentric rings of kind of like how things are set up in the Savage Land, and then there's kind of listed how
Yeah, like
which animals will live where in the Savage Land.
right. And we got the Cretaceous and Jurassic and Triassic periods.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty cool. It's near Antarctica.
Yeah, it's like near a warm spring area in Antarctica, and it's pretty rad. I mean, you
Yeah.
got all kinds of dinosaurs from all of the prehistoric periods. I think you also have mastodons and stuff too in the Savage Land,
Right.
and
Mhm.
also weird monsters and things that are not found anywhere else.
Right.
Weird little races of alien beings.
We will see one.
Yes, we will. We'll talk about
Okay.
that later.
And there's a couple of babes on the map too. So
Yeah, we got Shanna the She-Devil, and then this other chick who's actually in this story.
Yeah, Bobby Morse.
Yeah, Bobby Morse.
Um,
Isn't she from S.H.I.E.L.D.?
I don't know, but she goes into the jungle in hot pants. So
It's cool.
yeah, she's actually quite the fighter
Yeah.
and quite fetching.
Yes.
Oh, so okay.
What's Man God and El Tigre's plan?
With his powers, he can find natural treasure like oil and stuff.
So they're after wealth and revenge on Ka-Zar, right?
Because Man God thinks that Ka-Zar killed his brother or
Somebody.
somebody, and Ka-Zar is innocent.
Well, okay.
Oh, okay. So
It's so weird.
yeah, it is. It's pretty cool. I like these stories. The nice
Yeah.
fights.
Yeah, Ka-Zar's battle with Man God is pretty sweet. And Bobby Morse, of course, makes short work of El Tigre because he's lame.
Yeah, she wasn't fallen El Tiger, or is it El Tigre?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
She was what about him?
She was following him.
Oh, she was following him. Yeah.
So yeah, ends in a cliffhanger, darn it, and we don't have the next one.
Yeah.
Boo.
So we do have Ka-Zar number 7, though, and the story is Revenge of the River Gods, written by Jerry Conway, with art by John Buscema, and inked by Bob McLeod. Now, I love John Buscema, and of course he is the definitive Conan artist, and you can kind of see touches of Conanisms in his rendition of Ka-Zar.
Yeah. We have Ka-Zar fighting these river rats, and they have no superpowers, I guess.
I mean, they're people. Let's make that distinction, not rats, not like giant rats.
Oh yeah. But river rat is
Yeah.
someone who works on the river, and he fought Spider-Man and beat him up, and here he's having trouble with these this gang.
Well, it's just like when we read Luke Cage. It's just like, why is he having trouble with like just regular, like just a big guy with no powers when he's got like super strength and bulletproof skin?
Yeah.
It serves the story.
Yeah. Okay. So they
Maybe he didn't eat breakfast. I don't know.
He's having an off day.
Yeah.
So these people killed his friends. What's his friend's name? Kim Horkus.
Yeah.
Kim Horkus. Gakar
Sure.
betrayed his brother, and his brother died, killed by the river gods.
Yeah.
So he gets in a trial.
Yeah. Oh, and in
And
the
they
fight with these
escape.
pirates, we're led to think that Zabu has been killed also.
Right. And this
This girl comes to rescue.
She-Rock, yep, and she's pretty.
Mm-hmm.
Yay!
Yay! Pretty girls are good.
Mm-hmm. What would we do without them? Oh,
Read a lot more comic books.
right.
Uh,
All right. Hey, they find out that Kazu is actually. I said that on purpose.
Okay.
Oh, but they, Ka-Zar and the boy are put into a raft, and they're going to send down to the rapids, and they figure out how to smash
The thing they're on.
yeah. It's not. It's kind of a raft, but not quite.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, they escape.
And, and at the very end, Ka-Zar comes up on shore and sees Zabu's tracks, and so he knows Zabu's alive. So he's going to find Zabu and, go looking for him.
Yeah. We have a wonderful ad on the last page.
On the back cover from Ideal Toys.
Yeah, the Evil Knievel bike.
Yeah.
And these are famous for being very tough. And you can put them through a lot of stuff. So it's a wonderful toy. People love it. In the Evil Knievel movie, starring Evil Knievel.
I thought the Evil Knievel movie starred...
There's two different movies.
Okay.
So
there's one that's just called the Evil Knievel movie?
I'm not sure.
Because I remember the one with George Hamilton.
Yeah, that's pretty good. But I think Evil Knievel was in his own movie as well.
Okay.
So I might be totally wrong.
I don't know.
But I know that Evil Knievel, in the movie, goes into his hospital. This kid cannot walk. So he gives him a toy, and the kid is so happy he starts walking.
Oh, man.
But
this Evil Knievel bike, it's a motorcycle with a ripcord, and it goes flying off. And let me tell you, this is, for toy collectors, this toy is very in demand and fetches a lot of money.
Those kids play the hell out of them.
That's right. It could take a licking, but to find one that's got all the pieces and all, everything in a nice shape for, no.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. Next.
And Ideal Toys, I don't think they're around anymore, are they?
I don't know.
Yeah. it's funny. Toy companies. You see. I think Ideal or Marks or Mego.
Yeah.
Or Remco. Mego and Remco were around for a long time, but they do not exist anymore.
Well, toys aren't as popular anymore.
Yeah. Well, and I think some things
playing on video games.
Some toys companies fell away, and others kind of consolidate a certain level of business.
Yeah.
I mean, in the 80s, Kenner and companies like that really, I don't know, did a lot of more business. Kenner and Hasbro, and I want to say Playmates Toys, who I think that's who brought out Masters of the Universe, and then later with He-Man.
Yeah, right.
And then later brought out the Ninja Turtles thing. So.
Yeah.
But I don't think Playmates is around anymore. I could be. Oh no. Excuse me. Masters of the Universe was Mattel. So I'm wrong. But anyway.
I've actually seen the prototypes of Masters of the Universe, and they were awful looking,
Sure.
So,
it happens.
Yeah. So I guess the toy came before the show.
Yes, it did. In fact, they were originally going to be based on the Conan movies with Arnold, but then they're like, we're going to make a toy lineup based on an R-rated movie.
Yeah.
But then they made Rambo toys too later. Remco did. And Remco sucks though.
Yeah.
There's a reason Remco is not around, because they made lousy toys. But anyway, I digress. We're just too tangenty right now.
Yeah.
So what is it?
Ka-Zar is fighting against a big 8. No.
Hang on, this is Ka-Zar number 10?
Yeah.
Beyond the Veil of Savage Time, written by Doug Munch and Jerry Conway, with art by John Buscema and Fred Kita.
Yeah, well...
Yeah, Ka-Zar and Zabu are fighting this great big gorilla.
Yeah, and that's a bad fight. And
yeah, it's pretty sweet.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. And Zabu is knocked out, and Ka-Zar is almost knocked out. But
the fight seems to go on for like 5 pages.
And he kills the creature, which is kind of cool. And
Yeah.
it's picked up on a mastodon.
Yeah, by some princess or something.
Alda, I think.
Yeah.
It's the thing they carry on an elephant. I'm probably mispronouncing it.
It's fine.
Oh, that's cool. About they're like Indians from the Indian subcontinent.
Yeah.
And of course, there's a babe looking after Ka-Zar because he's a good-looking guy. So.
Yeah. And they go to this, like Shangri-La type city they're from.
Lots and lots of temples.
Yeah.
So he meets the leader and
I see you are very religious people.
Yeah.
And then, the Bible goes.
Right.
Remember that? Like,
and
do they have a temple to an unknown god?
I don't know.
I'm just making allusion to that, but no, go ahead.
What? Which?
When I think it's Paul or Peter is going
Oh,
to the...
yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I was thinking that strikes a bell. I can't remember.
Oh, wait, the Bible!
Yeah, okay.
So anyway,
Oh, all right.
I think it's Paul, right?
Yeah.
No, it's Peter. I don't matter.
Oh,
One of those fellas.
So Ka-Zar is sitting on this settee or couch, and he's just looking cool and hanging out. He's kind of bored.
Yeah.
And I don't know. The leader's son comes, and they get along okay, which is cool. But there's this shifty-looking guy looking at him, so and that's the enemy.
Yep.
And they go and look at these gods, and which his father made.
Yeah.
As these statues.
Mm-hmm.
And then Ka-Zar is sleeping, and his cat wakes up, and these guys try to kill him. They look like Arab assassins.
Sure.
That's pretty cool, actually.
Yeah.
Oh, we got a G.I. Joe advertisement. G.I. Joe meets the amazing Atomic Man. This poor kid was born without limbs, so he gets
Born without limbs?
Yeah, apparently.
Wow.
Oh, at least the limbs that he gets replaced.
It's interesting. He was born without his left leg and his right arm.
Right. And his eye.
Right. Boy.
See through 6 feet of steel.
That's why you don't drink when you're pregnant, ladies.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, yeah, that's kind of fun. And that was in the G.I. Joe with those 12-inch dolls.
Yeah.
With realistic hair and kung fu grip.
They're action figures. Okay.
Yeah.
Get it right.
No, they're definitely dolls. I mean, but it's okay.
Right. So, Ka-Zar defends himself, and then that evil guy comes out. Salitha? I don't know.
Call him whatever. Don't.
And he says he is committing violence in the temple. Well, they put Ka-Zar in a temple, which is kind of odd. And hey, let's go and I'll sleep in the church here. What the?
They got nothing but temples in this city. What do you expect?
I guess not. Oh,
like here you can sleep here. Nobody worships this god very much. I don't know.
Or something. That's weird. So, Ka-Zar gives up, and they have a trial, and
the god wakes up and starts telling him stuff. He's like, "No, you should live because of whatever."
He doesn't know our ways, but
somebody must pay, and so the son of the king or whatever is going to die. The guy that Ka-Zar had made friends with.
Yeah, and we don't have the next issue, which is the demon god. Man,
it's pretty messed up.
All right, this one, man.
And this is the last issue of Ka-Zar's ongoing series.
Are you serious?
I am serious.
Oh man, it's a lot of stuff is happening. I was wanting to see what happens, so we'll never know.
They may have cleared up the plot lines in another book. That's usually how that works. But yeah. But anyway, it's Ka-Zar number 20, and it's Assault on a Cold Fortress, written by Doug Munch with art by Val Mayerick and Ernie Chan.
All right, this is where I go to war, with a bikini-clad girl on my shoulder and a long sword in my hand.
Yeah.
That's cool.
This is very John Carter-y.
Yeah.
He's fighting aliens. He's got some beautiful babe.
You got, what are those called? Wind sharks.
Yeah, there's flying sharks, man.
Cool.
Yeah.
And he's got this dwarf who's really funny.
Yeah.
Okay, they're kidnapping this princess, who's actually his girlfriend, but she thinks that she's a princess because she's been brainwashed by these weird, evil-looking dudes.
And they're aliens from some other dimension, not even another planet, but another dimension.
Yeah, I love this line. We got the female now, and this says the dwarf. And all of her soft parts are intact, including her head. So that's kind of.
Yeah.
Oh, that's kind of racy.
Yeah, and insulting.
Yeah, okay. But he insults everybody.
Except
Ka-Zar, I don't think he...
I don't know. He calls him, like, blonde head or something like that.
Man, that kid, he looks like Chucky, the evil doll.
Yeah. But yeah, this guy's like a little gremlin or something.
Yeah. No one takes him seriously.
Yeah.
But she is, I've been brainwashed? Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. There's this race of people who go around stealing people's youth. So they
Yeah.
So, and then they leave these kids, 20-year-olds, into look like they're 90 years old.
So this race of people are like the incubus or succubus
Hmm.
type.
Yeah. And so this tribe is getting together, and they look like they're ready for war. Oh, they're wearing loincloths, and they got this huge temple. Hmm. 4-story temple.
Yeah.
Oh, so this other race, they have spaceships and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah. Oh, and also their unwilling or their not to please guest is Claw, the master of sound, who's somehow journeyed to their dimension, is trying to get back to Earth.
And he's a gleeful villain.
Yeah, he loves being a supervillain.
Yeah, wow, that's cool.
And he does battle with the Fantastic Four and Ka-Zar and the Black Panther a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I think he killed the Black Panther's father, and in that story is how he became Claw or something, because he was trying to get into vibranium or something.
Oh, okay. But it's really cool battle, and they attack. They're just Cyberman. I'm not sure what's going on with that.
Yeah, I don't know either.
Well, we'll never know now, I guess.
Maybe we will.
Yeah, but these tribes and find Ka-Zar, and they convince him to go fight. So he said, okay.
Okay.
All right, in so many words.
Yeah.
And they get captured. The wind sharks are pretty cool.
Yeah. A shark with wings, man. That's awesome. So anyway, Claw is with these aliens, and he tricks them into revealing a way for him to escape.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then Ka-Zar is going to be fighting the aliens, but it's left on a kind of a cliffhanger.
I mean, he's being fired up by the ship. Ugly ships, man.
It even says to be continued somewhere. They don't know where they're going to tie up these loose ends. The book gets canceled.
Letters page. We need to see the letters page.
We'll take a look. But the book gets canceled without tying up this storyline. It's like, wow, they will not even put into production to tie it up. Which is funny. Now you don't see books canceled without tying up those loose ends. They might cut the print run, but the people who were reading it, they would still, put out enough books. And, okay, we'll finish it, the story arc, and then cancel it.
Oh, they don't really say what's going on with it.
Okay, it's not in that yellow box.
Yeah, but this is definitely the best of the Jungle ones. It was interesting. It's nice seeing Spider-Man. It was interesting, although Aunt May irritates me to no end. It's a cheap trick, and it's overused. But Spider-Man's a great character. I'm not sure why he's a great character, but wow, when he's there, he's on, and I said, "Oh, this is really cool." And then I forget why I like Spider-Man.
I think you feel for Spider-Man because he got so many problems. He gets all this grief when he's trying to do good, and he keeps on taking all this punishment, basically. And he's broke all the time, and he has trouble with chicks, and his relationships and things like that, and struggling with school, and it's trying to find it's like trying to find your way in life, like the whole world is against you.
He's adolescent, and he's a nerd, and
so I think all of those things make Spider-Man relatable. And very soon, I think in a few weeks, we will start. We'll take a look at some Spider-Man again. So yeah, what do we learn today, Jeff? Anything?
No personal pronouns in the jungle, I guess.
Okay.
But Ka-Zar is good. That's about it.
All right. Well, this has been Comic Reflections. Thanks for listening.